Hi, I'm Ty and I'm documenting my financial journey in the last year of my 20s. So today I'm going to be doing what I spent for 2024 just to help me with the goals and the categories I want for 2025. My last video I talked about my financial goals. It was the first in this video series that I'm trying to do. So it was a bit awkward and I didn't really have a script, but it was my first video in the series and I've already learned so much. So I'm excited to continue with this journey. Let's see where I'm going. So like I said earlier, I'll be talking about where my money went in 2024. I saw online people would call it 2024 spending wrapped, and I thought that was a really cute title. I wanted to reflect on this because the way I think I track my money really well, but the way I've been tracking it has not been efficient. For some reason, my category, you'll see in a bit that my categories are always changing, and I want to reflect on that before I create my new spreadsheet, which I have already started. My finance tracker, I've still been refining it. It's already the third week of January, and I think that's okay. January is just like a chill month. I'm taking it slow because I do want to really track my spending and and where my money is going this year. But you'll see in a bit that I do like changing up my categories depending on what I need at that time, and I don't want to do that for now. You can see here that I didn't track my money in the beginning of the year. In 2023, I wasn't employed until December. So I wasn't really spending money, I was really making money, so I didn't really track it well. But I don't want that to happen this year. I think I'm gonna be employed for the entire year like I was in 2024. And I also changed up a lot of spending categories. So if you see here my income is in the green and my expenses are in the red. Thankfully this entire 2024 I was employed. I think I was only unemployed for like 2 or 3 weeks because of other reasons. I was able to find another part-time job really quickly, and that's where I'm still working now. So my income total, this is in pesos by the way, was actually more than I thought. This is my net income or gross income. Hold on. Right, this is my net income out of, removing all my taxes and etc. Actually, it was more than I thought it would be. I was making around 27k a month, but I don't know why I'm averaging higher. And then my expenses was just a little bit more. I think that was from the last half of the year. Then you can see here my net savings. This is just row 17 minus row 18. And this, I totally forgot where I got this specific spreadsheet. It was probably one of those free ones online because I like the chart of where my income and expenses going. For 2025, I'm changing it up a little bit in a good way, and I'm improving it, which is what we want to do every year. So going to my savings, like I said earlier, for some reason I always change up my categories. I don't know why. I think, like I said, it's because if I'm not using the category very often, I just merge it with another category, which I don't want to do for next year. So personal savings. Personal is an accumulation of everything essentially, which is, my transportation, wardrobe, makeup, shopping, etc. It was also for some reason where I dumped my travel funds or my travel tracking. I wish I did have a specific travel category for last year, which I'm improving on for this year. And family is also encompasses gifts and etc. And you can see last year, I said this in my previous video, that I didn't really save last year. On the other hand, I did cash flow a lot of my trips and my travels, which I'm very happy about. You can see here I was not saving, and I wasn't even tracking my saving in May to June. I've already checked my other categories here. For some reason, I just wasn't tracking it. So for 2025, I do have a more simple way to track my savings. And I think that's what I needed for 2024, is a simple way to track my savings. Because I was using this tab and I don't know. you'll see in a different video, hopefully, if I'm able to make that, on what my spreadsheet is for 2025. Then investments, I didn't add to any of my investments last year. These numbers are just all interest, which, a couple hundred pesos, not bad for sitting and spending. You can see, again, I said earlier, in the beginning months, for some reason, I wasn't tracking specific categories. And in the middle of the month, I even changed it. So if you see here, I think I was changing it, like, even in May. I started changing it again in April and May. So, a quarter of the year, I wasn't tracking where I was spending my money. I did separate my food spending to what I spent at home. So what I spend with my family, because I wanted to see how much I spent on myself. Bills at home, just bills. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. Medical was just mostly my braces, and then a little bit of like my vitamins and a few x-rays that I did. Technology was, I bought a new laptop last year after having my old laptop for 10 years, which it was already a refurbished Dell laptop and lasted me 10 more years after that. It was my dad's, then it was mine for 10 years. It crapped out last year, so hopefully I have another 10 years on this new laptop. It was really worth the purchase. I spent a lot of money, but it was also secondhand, which I've been trying to do in general, especially technology, making sure I go for secondhand technology. Family is gifts, is if my family needs like school stuff or medical stuff, or if they ask for money, that all goes into family. Friends, same thing. Fun and entertainment, I don't even think I put any in that category, but I believe that's like movies or like subscriptions maybe. This is why I'm reflecting, because I need to make sure what my categories are, and I do have an improvement of what they are, but maybe in another video I'll brainstorm on what specifically goes into the different categories, because I do think I have a couple new, I added more categories for this year. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought. So yeah, in fun and entertainment, I think, like I said, I wasn't sure about what that category encompasses, so it looks like this. And you can see I didn't track a few other, but overall picture, I appreciate that I didn't not track this. So you can see your personal is, I spent almost 100 grand on it, but I wish, like I said, it was broken down into like travel, because I did 3 plane trips, and then I did 2 like closer to my house trips and a staycation, which with my best friend. So I wish I had that divvied out instead of like having it all in personal, because even like my birthday party, I also put in personal. And with savings, like I said in my 2025 goals, I do want to improve on my savings. The thing about me is, when it comes to savings in my savings buckets, I used to do like cash envelope savings, and that was just a bit of a hassle, because I didn't like taking out money. I felt very awkward and like fearful that I had so much cash with me. So I actually changed it to digital cash envelopes, but because of that, and because from that, I always wanted to put even just a little bit in each category. So I think that's why I didn't save up that much. But also, on the other hand, 2024, I did do a lot and I did accomplish a lot. So this, I like seeing the overview, and I really do want to continue this for 2025. I just need to figure out how to improve on it. I do have some steps here. These are my reflections for this spreadsheet. I want to clarify my savings and sinking funds, because I feel like savings is long term while sinking funds is a little bit more short term. Those different categories, my investments, especially I want to track it too, because I do get interest in investments, obviously. Yeah, and what is the goal? Because like I said, last year I was just sort of going with the flow, I guess, when it comes to savings. And I put a note here that it's okay to make my goals small. Oh my gosh. I don't think I had any like savings goals, or I did, but I didn't take any of it really seriously. I didn't really have a plan for it, but I think for 2025 I will have a plan, or I do have a plan. And then my overall goals, I just want them to be realistic. I think that's what happened in 2024. I was a bit gung-ho, I guess, with the sinking funds, and then at the end of the year I didn't really achieve a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of my goals, my sinking funds and investing goals, are more prioritized than last time. Not as prioritized as, paying down my debt, but I also want to continue to cash flow a lot of the things that I want. That's personal spending, which is travel and wardrobe mostly. And I want to be prepared for unexpected stuff. So I do have it. I do have an emergency fund here, but it's barely tracked. I don't know what I was doing. So by the end of 2025, I don't want to be like, oh, I didn't track this, I didn't track that. I tracked everything. That's my goal. And yes, prepping for unexpected events. And I do also want to cash flow that as well. So what happened with tracking it? I think September, October, November, and December were really busy months for me. And I didn't really track where I spent. So I think in reality, if I go to November, I don't think this is accurate because I don't remember where I spent my money, but I remember I spent money somewhere. So if I want to keep tracking that, at least maybe like open, on my phone, I always have Samsung Notes, and I always want to keep tracking that somewhere when it does get busy, and then I'm able to transfer it on my Google Sheets. But also, the way I'm tracking it is actually very convenient, so I would like to just make sure that I'm tracking it somewhere in one of my apps that can sync. And then my last way that I can improve for next year is I would like to not only balance having a lot of categories, but also knowing what goes into each category. Specifically for personal, I would like to separate travel and wardrobe and my food, or like possibly change out how much I'm spending on eating out versus how much I'm spending on groceries, etc. That's how much I spent last year. You can see how volatile these 2 months were. Like this specific month, September, that's not my income from my job. I think part of it was, but I think half of it was also my partner giving me like birthday money for my birthday trip and my birthday party to come back here to the States. So it was like half me, half not me, and like maybe that was even like birthday money. But I also want to track, possibly, I don't know if I will, where my income came from. I do have it individually here on my notes, but I don't know if I want to have it here in my income. I can always edit my new spreadsheet, which I'm still working on. I can give you a quick look at that. Yeah, this is what I have so far because I'm still working on both my US and Filipino accounts. It is a bit, I'm figuring it out really right now. That's what I spent in 2024. I am excited to track it again in 2025. Let's see how that goes. And I think I can improve on this because I think this is the first year where I did actually track my income versus my expenses instead of just having it together. If you have any questions, if you have suggestions, please let me know. I'm very open to it. Like I said, it's still January, so I'm still very much open to changing up my spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be January, but if you do have any suggestions, you might see this video in like 5 months in the middle of the year. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.